Michelin. The more we progress, the further you go.
And Valvoline, driving the world.
It's fantastic.
I believe I can do it.
This is the target. Everybody's in the sport to win.
If you want to go right around the world, you build one of these cars.
FIA World Rally Championship returns to...
change. On the front, the face is facing the new face of SEAT, the new logo of SEAT, I mean the new era of SEAT. And obviously we have also improved something in the engine, that's a turbo, it's a new turbo, and mainly electronics, different differentials and the big settings, no? But the main changes are the aerodynamics.
The Spanish team hopes that changes may come at the right time, giving them, the two Finnish drivers, some renewed optimism for their home event. The new car posted several fastest times in the recent Channel of 4 rally.
We are the fastest car in this rally, but this homologation is not so ready, it's not possible to win that rally. But anyway, it's the first time in test car in Finland, but everything is looking very good.
And it doesn't understeer so much like this. Maybe a car is not so much faster, but it's more easy to drive.
Finland has a tradition of producing some of the world's greatest rally drivers: Tommi MAKINEN, JUHA KANKKUNEN, Harri VATANEN, Hannu Mikkola, some great landmarks in rallying. Tommi MAKINEN, world champion 96, 97 and 98. JUHA KANKKUNEN has won 22 rallies, 4 times for Lancia, Peugeot and Toyota, including this Finnish rally twice. Harri VATANEN, one of the greatest names in the sport, won the championship in 1981. Another familiar name is Hannu Mikkola, 18 rally wins and the championship in 1983, 7 times winner of this event. Despite winning 19 rallies, MARKKU ALEN never won the championship, but he was won in Finland 6 times. Timo Samanen won in 1985, and over 50% of the World Championship titles have gone to Finnish drivers.
Just flat out all the time, of course.
The championship proved to be an excellent proving ground for the tyre manufacturers. The range of surfaces and extreme conditions have made tyre choice crucial to team success, with a championship in the balance for the manufacturers.
We have the Michelin ZA, which is probably going to be the pattern that's the most used possibly throughout the whole event. It's an open pattern which helps brush away the top level of sand and gravel.
Mainly 3 different thread patterns, the K, KM and XR, and we have also for sure some different compounds. So globally the number of choices is between 7 and 9.
The pattern's only the visible part of it, of course. There's all the construction that goes on, which doesn't work on the construction. That you can't see with the naked eye, but that is absolutely essential in performance here.
Carrying speed and balancing the car.
The main problem when they are landing from a jump is the impact with the road. So mainly you have to damp this impact, and the marriage between the tire and the suspension is fundamental.
Carrying speed through and balancing the car through the bends is essential, as each driver has his own technique for braking.
with the left foot, so basically now it's always left foot on the brake and right foot on throttle, and you just play a little bit. When you need to brake, you brake. When you accelerate, you accelerate.
And fast right opens to keep right over jump, 70, long bad left.
It's very simple. It's on off on the accelerator, and it's the throttle, and it's just braking with my feet, the right feet. That's it. I never brake with the left.
On the tarmac I was braking with the right foot, you know, and on the gravel I am braking with the left foot all the time.
In car with Tommi MAKINEN.
I always lift throttle when I'm braking, but I'm always braking with left.
Ford come to Scandinavia, emerging from a year of mixed fortunes. In Kenya, the all-new Ford Focus has surprised even the Ford team when MCRAE took victory. The car, which was substantially overweight, proved that it could survive the event, it could win. In Portugal, he was to do it again, and things were beginning to look good for the team, as he was only 2 points behind the series leader, Tommi MAKINEN. But it all went wrong. Mechanical failures have plagued the team, and despite 3 points on the Tour de Course, 4 retirements have put their title hopes in question.
Just get it to the end, man. You're not going to go long 6 right tight.
I'm very confident that we'll win events before the end of the season. I mean, I think if you look at how competitive we've been on every rally this year, it's been remarkable considering it's a new car. I think the problems that we've had the last couple of rallies are things that we probably expected to get in the early part of the season. So I suppose with getting those results, obviously you take them when you can, but it put more pressure on everybody in the team because, you know, the championship was a real possibility, not only drivers but manufacturers as well. As long as we can keep pushing, I mean, we want Colin to push as hard as possible, and, you know, to really to iron out any problems or things that we can with the car, so that we're in a strong position to challenge for the championship next year.
The 7 stages, totaling some 83 kilometres of leg 1, were centred around Jyväskylä. The rally is Finland's biggest sporting event, attracting thousands to the forest in the centre of the country. The running order is as you see it. First on the road will be Tommi MAKINEN, followed by Didier Auriol and Carlos Sainz. The rally started at 2 p.m. The weather forecast was for clear skies. Everything was looking favourable for Tommi MAKINEN on his home rally. He was first off the ramp, looking for that elusive, that 6th victory. Didier Auriol, with a win here in '92, was one of only 2 non-Scandinavians to win here. And Carlos Sainz was the other. He won in 1990. Local man Juha KANKKUNEN lives near Jyväskylä and will be very familiar with the stages, certainly a potential winner. Alistair McRae in the Hyundai is the first Formula 2 car away.
I've been here, this is my 4th time now, so I've got pretty good notes on the road. We won here in F2 last year, so I'm really looking forward to it.
He is followed away by his teammate Kenneth Eriksson. MAKINEN was the first on the stage. With top speeds of around 200 kilometers an hour, the setup of the car has to be right, as even a small error can lose speed through the bends. Over the 11-kilometer stage of stage 1, MAKINEN set a time of 4:55.2. His positioning of his car over the jumps is quite uncanny. Didier Auriol, needing to close the gap on the Finn, lost 4 seconds to MAKINEN. In the second Toyota, Sainz was pushing hard for the first win of the year. Juha KANKKUNEN here, 22 points behind in the championship, but a win could keep his championship hopes alive. After the first 4 cars through, oh dear. Colin McRae, 8th here, was 8th back in '92, was not as favourite to win and lost time on the first stage by 7 seconds. On 23 points, equal with McRae, was Richard Burns, mixing it with the Finn less than 2 seconds off the pace. LOIX, making his debut here, was over 13 seconds behind. In the second Ford, Thomas Radström was leading his teammate comfortably. KANKKUNEN continued to hold the lead. After his performance in New Zealand, Gardemeister was the one to watch, equal fourth with Burns. First time here since '93 was François Delacour, bedding in over 7 seconds adrift. ROVANPERA proved the Seat could win in the new Evo 2, clearly a huge improvement, posting a time only 1 second behind KANKKUNEN's. Peugeot's Markus Grunholm, staying in the top 10, was substantially quicker than his teammate Delacour, less than 2 seconds behind KANKKUNEN. But as stage 1 unfolded, as a surprise as the local driver, Pasi Hagström, driving a Toyota WRC, snatched third from Sainz. He finished 9th last year, but was later to retire on stage 3 with gearbox failure. Meeting Malcolm Wilson and Martin Whitaker, director of Ford Motorsport, out to watch the stage. Watching, clicking the times, checking the form. My feeling is a little bit divided. I would prefer to take the wheel because I just did the 1,000 lakes 25 years ago. But that's life, we have to do that. But I follow the rally in a French helicopter. Harry VATANEN has been driver for the French manufacturers Peugeot in the WRC and rally raids. JUHA KANKKUNEN in the middle of a battle for first place. He was fastest on the first 2 special stages. Richard Burns, his teammate, he was fastest on special stage 3 and takes the lead 2 seconds ahead of his teammate JUHA KANKKUNEN. Richard, who won the Acropolis Rally in Greece, is in superb form. And there's Richard looking very confident, talking to David Richards, his team boss of ProDrive.
I don't suppose the Finns are so happy, but I mean, it's stages that are quite narrow. They're a bit easier to note than the sort of longer, wider, faster roads that we have tomorrow. So I have to make the most of the fact that the other guys don't have such an advantage here.
And JUHA KANKKUNEN arrives at service in second place behind his teammate, Richard Burns.
We did a lot of testing, and I did even a little rally here in Finland, and we did actually 1 week testing, and I was very happy after the test, and little improvements, and works well.
Tommi MAKINEN in the Mitsubishi Lancer. He complained at the end of special stage 2 that spectator marshals were standing in the road and cost him some time. But so far, no fastest time for Tommi, but he plays a canny game. Tommi is arriving in service.
Three stages down and the Subarus are leading. Are you surprised?
Yeah, a bit surprised. They seems to be very fast, but I know at least JUHA's tire choice was completely different what we were using. We were using normal wide one, and JUHA is using narrow one, which seems to be very good.
The Ford Focus of Colin McRae having some minor repairs done after slight suspension damage after hitting a rock on special stage 1. He was complaining the car at this stage was too soft.
He's not 100% happy with the notes. I mean, they're working okay, but they could be a lot quicker. Obviously, you know, he's never had that much good luck here, and one thing he desperately needs to do is drive over all the special stages this year so he can build up his experience of the pace notes.
Didier AURIOL in the Toyota Corolla. Disappointment as well for Toyota. Today never in the battle for the top position. Carlos Sainz, 5th tonight. Both drivers complaining their cars were very nervous. young superstar Tony Gardemeister, the new Seat Cordoba Evo. He had a spin on special stage 5 and lost about 30 to 40 seconds. He lies 11th overnight. Tommi MAKINEN must have been a little disappointed.
You're playing, are you deliberately staying a little bit further back?
No. I was just coming. I tried some different setting with suspension, and it was not. We had some little oversteering problem with the car. I'm not sure. Not sure what it is, but they try to find everything, and I'm sure we can find out everything for tomorrow.
Are you worried?
No, not at all. It's still a long way to go.
After the first 6 special stages, the standings were very close. Apart from Colin McRae having trouble getting his suspension settings right, all the others seemed to be going well, and the final positions would be decided on the final stage of the day, the Super Special at Jyväskylä. Juha KANKKUNEN was to lie 2nd overnight, and Richard Burns, in his battle with his teammate, will lie 3rd, and I think deliberately took an 8-second slowness on the last special stage to lie 3rd overnight. Markus Grönholm, the leader tonight. In his 3rd rally in the 206 WRC, Markus Grönholm finished the day very strong and had fastest times on special stage 5 and 6, despite complaining of slight loss of power.
Marcus, every rally the new Peugeot 206 has done, it's been fast on, but it hasn't always lasted the distance. Do you think it can last the distance here?
Now I have the feeling, yes, we can do it. It's in the beginning we had small problems, but during the test before, so we have done a lot of kilometers without any problems. So I hope we can do it.
And so the leader overnight is Markus Grönholm, leading by 3.8 seconds from the teammates of KANKKUNEN and Burns, with Thomas RADSTRÖM, the first Ford, 9.6 seconds behind. The star of the show is probably Marco Martin, the Estonian driver, who is in 10th. But the other battle is the 2-litre F2, featuring Hyundai, VW, Renault and Vauxhall. It's a big battle. Renault currently lead the championship, 22 points ahead of Hyundai, the big favourite for the title. But other challengers like Vauxhall and Volkswagen have come from the UK to challenge.
Very competitive, but it's good. We're looking forward to it because you know, a couple of the rallies this year we've been able to win by a comfortable margin, whereas here we're going to have to fight for every bit of it, which is, you know, good for the team, good for the drivers. I think Castelletto's got to be strong here, but Laukkanen I know is many people's favourite for the F2, and that's fine by us. You know, we'll take him on and we think we can beat him.
Tapio Laukkanen, the 30-year-old Finn who has just won the British Championship in his Renault. He's won 3 rallies in this series this year. He's a very fast driver, and many team managers are looking at him for next year. His teammate Martin Rowe is also here and looking for a good result. So overnight the position is Tapio Laukkanen leading by 17 seconds from Jarmo Castelletto in the Vauxhall, with Per Sven in an Opel Astra in 3rd place. So why don't you join us for the same time tomorrow